Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, April 7th, and this is AMI Day 12. So there are no announcements for today, so we'll go ahead and get started. So we'll start with the math portion of your AMI Day 12 work. So once again, the math looks a little different because they've actually attached an actual worksheet for you guys to do. If you don't have access to internet or computer, you can always just do this worksheet. So let me scroll down to today's worksheet. And I'll share it with you guys. So today's worksheet is 3-digit by 2-digit multiplication. So this right here, 3-digit by 2-digit. So today we're going to review two methods today. We're just going to do two methods today. We're going to do the box method for 3-digit by 2-digit and the breaking apart method for 3-digit by 2-digit. You can also use the traditional method for 3-digit by 2-digit. That's what it's showing you up here in their examples. So today we're just going to review the box method for 3-digit by 2-digit and the traditional method, or not the traditional, but the break apart method. So box method and break apart method are the ones we're going to review today in this video. So if you choose to do option 1, here's the worksheet. It is 3-digit by 2-digit multiplication. So we're going to start with this first one, 499 times 55. So I'll come back to me, and I have the problem written on my board, 499 times 55. And we're going to start with the box method. So we're going to draw our box for this problem, and it's going to look a little different than our box from yesterday for 2-digit by 2-digit, because we're going to have to add a couple extra boxes because we have a 3-digit number. So our box for 3-digit by 2-digit will look like this. Okay, so we kind of just added an extra column of squares. So at the top, we're going to put our 3-digit number. So it is 499. So I have each place value. I have the 400 for the hundreds place, the 90 for the tens place, and the 9 for the ones place. 499. Okay, and then we have 55 for our 2-digit number. So I'm going to put it on the side here. 50 and 5. So 50 for our tens and 5 for our ones. So it'll look like this when you set it up. So for this first box here, it will be 50 times 400. So we can start by thinking, okay, we know that 5 times 4 is 20. So 5 times 4 is 20. We know that. And then look, how many zeros are we going to add to the end? We have 1 for our 50, 2 for our 400. So let's add 3 zeros to that 20. So that gives us, I've added my comma in there, that gives us 20,000. So 50 times 400 is 20,000. So then we're going to go to the next box over, and it would be 50 times 90. 50 times 90. Okay, 5 times 9. I'm going to show you all my nines trick. So here we go. Here's my hands. Okay, so I'm going to put down my 5th finger. So we'll use this hand right here. Put down, well, I have 4 and a 5. So I have 45. So 5 times 9 is 45. It looks a little weird when I show it to you on video because it's mirrored, so I see the opposite of what you see. So 50 times 90. So 5 times 9 we know is 45. Or you could always just ask Siri. I could be like, hey Siri, what is 5 times 9?
5 times 9 is 45.
Is 45. So technology is fun that way. So 5 times 9 is 45. So I'm going to write that in the box, 45. But then let's check and see how many zeros we need to add to the end of that 45. So I have a 0 on my 50 and a 0 on my 90, so that is 2 zeros. So then 50 times 90 is 4,500. Then we're going to do our last box on that row, and that one's going to be 50 times 9. So we remember that 5 times 9 is 45. And we have 1 0 to add on the end from our 50. So 50 times 9 is 450. Now we're going to go to our bottom row and start in that first box. So this first box is going to be 5 times 400. It's going to go right here in that first box. 5 times 400, right here in that first box. So we know that 5 times 4, we can count by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20. 5 times 4 is 20. And then we have 2 zeros to add from our 400. So I'll add my little comma in there. So 5 times 400 is 2,000. Okay, then we go to the next box, the one that's in the middle. That one's going to be our 5 times 90. Okay, 5 times 90. We remember that 5 times 9 is 45. And then we have to add that 1 0 from our 90. So 5 times 90 is 450. And then we do our very last box. That one's going to be our 5 times 9. Siri told us that that was 45. 5 times 9 is 45. I kind of erased my 450 with my hand. We'll fix that. Okay, 450. Fixed it. Okay, 5 times 9 is 45. So after we've filled in our whole box, we take everything from our box and add it together. So what I might have to actually do is write this problem on a new sheet of paper and show it to you guys. So let's see. Let me find my ink pen. Okay, so we have 20,000. 20,000 plus 4,500. We'll do all our thousands first. Plus 2,000. I'm going to mark them off my board as I add them to my problem. So I did the 20,000, 4,500, 2,000. So I'm writing my problem on this piece of paper, and I'm marking each one off as I write it down. So I don't write one more than once. Keep track of what you do. 450. Then we have another 450. Let me mark both of those off. And then 45. Okay. So I took everything from my box. Let me mark off the 45 because I added it. Took everything from my box and I wrote it on this piece of paper here, and I just lined it all up. I did my thousands first, then I went to my hundreds, and then I did my 45 there on the bottom. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to add all of those together to get our answer. And I dropped my pen in the floor. Walker, where'd the pen go, buddy? Well, I lost my pen, so I'm going to use my pencil. Okay, so we start with 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 5. That's going to be 5. Then we have 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 5. That gives us 5. Plus another 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. And 10 plus 4 is 14. So I put my 4. And then I'm going to bring my 1 up. Okay. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1, so then we go 1 plus 5, so 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 0 still gives us 6, 6 plus 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're at 10, 10 plus 4, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that gives us 14 for that row of numbers. Put our 4, carry our 1 up there. Okay, 1 plus 0 still just gives us 1. 1 plus 4 is, so 4 plus 1 is 5. Let's see, 5 plus 2, 5, 6, 7. So our answer for that row is 7, and then we're going to bring our 2 all the way down. So our answer to that problem is, hopefully you can see it because I wrote it in pencil. I'll hold it up close. 27,445. 27,445. Let's ask Siri to check our math. Siri, hey Siri, what is 499 times 55?
499 times 55 is 27,445.
We did it. 27,445. So that was using the box method. I got so excited we did it right that I threw my board on the floor. So that was solving it using the box method. That was the box method. Now we're going to solve it using the break apart method. So let me rewrite the problem up here at the top of my board. 499 times 55. Okay. So we're going to start in the ones place with our 9. We're going to do, let me get used to showing this to you, 9 times 5. So I'm going to add that to my list of problems for break apart. 9 times 5, should probably write it smaller so we have enough room. 9 times 5, okay? So all we did was we said 9 times 5. Then we go to the tens place. So this is a 90. 90 times 5. 90 times 5. Then we go to our hundreds place. 400 times 5. So that 4 is in the hundreds place, so it's 400. And we're going to multiply it by 5. So we have our 9 times 5, 90 times 5, and 400 times 5. Okay? So let's go ahead and solve those. Okay? We know when we ask Siri, 9 times 5 is 45. Okay? So 90 times 5. So let's look at the 9 times 5 part. We know that that is 45. And we have this 1 0 here. So it's going to be, we'll put our 45, add our 1 0 to the end. And when we add that 1 0 to the end, that 45 becomes a 450. So 9 times 5 is 45. 90 times 5 is 450. Okay? Then we have 400 times 5. So let's think of our 4 times 5. So let's break it down. 4 times 5, we know that 4 times 5 is 5, 10, 15, 20. We know that 4 times 5 is 20. So let's write that down. Because sometimes you might need to break that apart. Because you might look at that 400 times 5 and think, oh my goodness, I have no idea how to figure that out. Well, look at what part of it you do know. You do know that 4 times 5 is 20. And then you have the 2 zeros on your 400. So you're going to add that to the end of your 20. So 400 times 5 is 2,000. I'll add my little comma in there for my thousands. That's a little comma. So there's the first part of it, but we're not done. We still have some problems to add to our list. Okay, so now we're going to go back to our ones place, and we're going to do 9 times, this 5 is in the tens place, so that's a 50. So 9 times 50. Add that to our list. 9 times 50. I'll throw the ball for my dog. 9 times 50. Okay, so now we're going to go to the tens place. So this is 90, and we're going to do 90 times 50. 90 times 50. 90 times 50. And then go to your hundreds place. Oops. So then it would be 400 times 50. 400 times 50. Okay. So we started with our 5 problems, 9 times 5, 90 times 5, 400 times 5. Then we did our other ones, 9 times 50, 90 times 50, 400 times 50. Okay, so So let's solve our problems there at the bottom. So we remember that 9 times 5 is 45. We have 1 0 from our 50, add that to end. So 9 times 50 is 450. Okay, and then we have 90 times 50. So we remember that 9 times 5 is 45. And then we have our 0 from our 90 and our 0 from our 50. So we have 2 zeros there. So we're going to add them to the end of our 45, add our little comma. So 90 times 50 is 4,500. Okay, then we have our very last one to solve, 400 times 50. So we know that 4 times 5 is 20. Let's check it. 5, 10, 15, 20. 4 times 5 is 20. And then, so I got my 20 written down. Then I have 2 zeros from my 400 and 1 0 from my 50. So I'm going to add, altogether, I'm going to add 3 zeros to the end of that 20. Add a little comma, put thousands. So 400 times 50 is 20,000. So now that I broke apart the problem and solved all these smaller problems, I'm going to take all my answers and add them together. So once again, I'm going to write them on a separate piece of paper so we have plenty of room. So I'm going to take all of our problems, all the answers from our problems when we broke it apart. I'm going to add all those answers together. And just like I did with the box method, I'm going to start with my thousands. So 20,000 is my biggest one. And as I do it, I'm going to mark them off. So I used that 20,000. See, I'm writing it on this paper. And after I write it on that paper, I just mark it off of there. That was an awkward way of showing you that board. I'm sorry. Okay, so 20,000, and then our next biggest one is 4,500. Let's see. Mark that off. Then I have 2,000. So I'm just kind of going biggest to smallest because that helps me line up my problem. And then 450. Okay, I have 2 of those. 450. Here's my other 450. And then my 45. Okay. I'm going to add all those together. So all I did was I took my answers from this board and I marked them off as I wrote them down. And I just transferred them over to this piece of paper so that I would be able to solve it. Okay, so now I'm going to take this paper and I'm going to solve that problem. Okay. So let's look at it. So that first row is 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 5. So that's going to give us 5. So I'll write that 5. Then the next one is 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 5. So that gives us 5. So then we have the 5 plus another 5. 5 plus another 5 is 10. 10 plus 4 is 14. So I'm going to put my 4, and then we carry. So I carry it up to that next row. So we're on the next one. We'll start with our 1 at the top. So 1 plus 0, we're still going to have 1. So let's do 1 plus 5. So 5 plus 1 is 6. And then we have 6 plus 0 is still 6. And then 6 plus 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6 plus 4 is 10. And then so we take that 10 and we're going to add another 4 to it. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that row gives us 14 as well. So we're going to put that 4 down there and carry. Okay. So now we're on this column right here. 1 plus 0 still gives us 1. So 1 plus 4 it's going to give us 5. And then we have 5 plus 2, 5, 6, 7. So that row is going to give us 7. Okay. And then on our very last one, we're just going to bring that 2 all the way down. So that gives us our 27,445. So 499 times 55 gives us 27,445. Just the same as the box method did. So the breaking apart method got us the same answer as the box method. So the answer to your first problem, if you choose to do option 1 and do that worksheet, we did problem 1 together. We used the box method and we used the breaking apart method. When you solve these problems, if you choose to do option 1 and do that worksheet, when you solve them, you can use any method that you want to. You can use the traditional method, you can use the box method, you can use the breaking apart method. Whatever method you want to use, if you choose to do option 1 and do that worksheet, choose whatever method you want to use. Okay, so now that was the math section that we went over, and now we're going to look at the readings. Oh, wait, no, there's more options on the math section. So option 2 is iStation, so you can choose to do iStation for 30 minutes, or ST Math, Freckle Math, Prodigy, Extra Math, any of those options. And then option 3 says to go to the PBS link and choose a video according to the age or grade level. So these are the PBS AMI options that you can choose to do. It's not extra work that you have to do, it's just an extra choice that you can choose from. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Okay, share. So here it gives you the link. So I'm going to click on the link and it's going to take you to this page right here. Mine's all small. Try and make it bigger. Okay, there we go. So it's going to take you to this page right here when you go to that link. So you're going to go right here, and so this is K8 Mathematics. So this is where you're going to go. This link takes you to the math part. If you click the link on the reading and writing parts, it takes you to the reading and writing section. So here is the PBS K8 Mathematics. So to find 5th grade, you're going to go here where it says filter by, click the drop down menu and go to 5. So that's going to take you to all of the 5th grade math videos that you can choose from. You can choose any, and then you can scroll down and it says see more videos. You can choose any video you want to watch. There's not a certain one that you are required to watch. If you choose to do this option, it's your choice which video you want to watch for today. So that is what the PBS website looks like. You just follow that link that's in your AMI packet. Go here where it says filter by, choose the 5, and pick whatever math video, whatever reading, writing video you want to watch for that section. And that's what it looks like. So let me get my stuff back up. So that is option 3 for math. If you choose to do that PBS website, you just filter those videos to grade 5 and choose whichever one you want to watch. Okay, and then next we have reading. Option 1, read a book of your choice for 30 minutes. So pick up a book, read for 30 minutes. Remember, in order for me to be able to keep track that you actually did it, you have to write down the title of the book, write down how many pages you read today, and then write a paragraph summary about what you read. And then, as always, talk to someone in your home about it, because when we talk about what we read, we remember what we read. You're probably going to get tired of hearing me say that, but when we talk about what we read, it helps us remember what we read, and it helps with our reading comprehension. Okay, so option 2 for reading, you can do iStation reading for 30 minutes. If you are done with iStation reading, you can do Freckle ELA, and that will give you some options. And then you can also, Spelling City is also an option. We have those new lists up on Spelling City. So that is option 2 for reading. Option 3 for reading, they actually give you a passage to read in your packet with questions to answer. It's the same thing as yesterday's, with the Peter Pan, except it's a different reading passage. So I'll share the screen with you again. There's a lot of screen sharing nowadays. So the one they give you, if you choose to do option 3 and read the reading passage and answer the questions. Today's reading passage is The Secret Garden. So it has a little piece from the book, The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. So it gives you that little, this little passage from The Secret Garden. And then the same as yesterday's, it gives you these 3 questions. Number 1, name 2 or more things that Mary enjoys about the outdoors. So read that passage. Find 2 things that Mary enjoys about being outdoors. Write those 2 things on number 1. Number 2, complete the analogy. So snowdrops is to flowers like a cold winter wind is to a warm summer breeze. A grain of sand on the beach is to the sky, stars in the sky, or raindrops is to budding plants. So it's an analogy. Okay, and then the 3rd question is match each word to its meaning. So you're finding the definitions for the words astonished, determined, intention, bold, fascinating, and sprouting. So astonished, determined, intention, bold, fascinating, sprouting. So you just match the word to its definition. So if you choose to do that as your option 3, you read that little passage, answer those 3 questions. Okay, and then option 4 will be to follow that PBS link that they give you for reading and watch any of the videos. Once again, you'll filter it to where it says 5th grade, and then you'll choose whichever video you want to watch for that. Okay, and then writing. So writing, yesterday, your option 1 for writing was to start a coronavirus pandemic journal. And we talked about that, and I showed you the examples of the I Survived books. Once again, those are up on Epic. You're able to use Epic at home. I added all the I Survived books into a little collection, so they're all in one place for you, and I shared the link to that collection yesterday. And all those I Survived books on Epic are actually audiobooks, so there's something that you can listen to. So those are good examples of, you know, how to kind of keep a journal about a historic event that's happening. So if you started a coronavirus pandemic journal yesterday, your option 1 today is to add an entry to your daily journal you began yesterday. Some things you might want to include in your journal entry today are record what news is being shared with the general public. So look at the news. What are they telling the public on the news? What are your thoughts on what is being said in the news? So think about, you know, what is the news saying and how does that make you feel? How does what the news is reporting make you feel? Because a lot of times the news reports certain things in a certain way in order to get people to feel a certain way. So that's something interesting to think about. If you were giving your own news report, so think if you were a news reporter, what would you share that is going on in your own daily life? So if you were reporting on the news about your daily life in quarantine at your house, what would you report about? So think about those details. How is life different right now than it was in January of 2020? So think about what we were all doing in January and how is life right now at the beginning of April different than it was in January. One thing is that we're not in the classroom together learning. You know, what are some other things that are different right now than they were at the beginning of the year in January? So think of those things, add them to your journal entry if you chose to do option 1 yesterday. So add a journal entry for today. So it's Tuesday, April 7th, 2020. So you'll start your journal entry with the date, Tuesday, April 7th, 2020, and you'll write about what's going on today in your journal entry. And I want you to think about those questions that they give you in your AMI packet and add those into your journal entry. Okay, then you have option 2, go to the PBS link and select a video. So once again, you just follow that PBS link, filter it to where it says 5 for 5th grade and choose any of those videos that you want to watch from PBS. Okay, and then as always, you have science. So today, today's science is about Newton's first law. So Newton's first law of motion, it's also called the law of inertia. So at the top of this little paper that it gives you, I'll share my screen so we can all see what I'm looking at. So this is what they give you. So it's about Newton's first law, the law of inertia. And right here at the top of the paper, it gives you a little background knowledge about the law of inertia. It says an object at rest will remain at rest. So if something is just sitting, so I have this marker, if it's just sitting on the table, it's just going to sit there. And it says it will remain at rest unless acted on by an unbalanced force. So this marker is going to stay still on my table until I take my hand and I hit the marker. Once I hit the marker, it's going to roll across the table. Or if you think about a toy car, if a toy car is just sitting on the floor, it's just going to sit there until you push the toy car. Once your hand is that unbalanced force and pushes the car, then it's going to start rolling. Otherwise, it's just going to sit there. So an object at rest will remain at rest unless acted on by an unbalanced force. An object in motion continues in motion with the same speed and in the same direction unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. So think of that toy car. So the toy car is just sitting there at rest. It's not moving or anything until the unbalanced force of your hand pushes the car. Then once your hand pushes the car, it's going to keep rolling. And it's pretty much going to roll in a straight line. And then imagine that it hits the wall. Once it hits the wall, it stops or it may turn. That's the next unbalanced force. It's going to keep going straight. Your toy car is going to keep going straight, and then it'll hit the wall. Once it hits the wall, it's not going the same speed anymore. It stops, or it either turns and goes a different direction at a different speed. So an object at rest will remain at rest unless acted on by an unbalanced force. An object in motion will continue in motion with the same speed and in the same direction unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. Okay, and then it gives you a picture and it says, think about it. So this picture is a boy, he is sledding down a hill. Oh, and once he gets to the end of the hill, his sled hits a rock. And then once the sled hits the rock, what happens to the boy? He flies off of the sled. So then it gives you little word boxes here. I gotta lean in close so I can see it. So here it says, the sled only starts moving when someone gives it a push down the hill. So if nobody pushed that sled, it would still be sitting at the top of the hill. The sled did not start moving until somebody pushed it. Okay, and then at the bottom, over here, once he gets to the bottom of the hill, it says when the sled is stopped by a rock, the kid keeps going and flies off of it. And it adds, this is why we wear seatbelts in the car. So when the sled hits the rock, the boy keeps going. So, and then it gives you challenge questions. Which objects are in motion in the picture? So what object is moving in the picture? So you can look here at the top of the hill. What is moving in this picture? What is the unbalanced force in the picture? So what is the force that made the sled start moving? So what force made the sled start moving? And what force, down here at the bottom, made the sled stop moving? So you have the force that started it and the unbalanced force that stopped it. So what's the unbalanced force that started it? And what is the unbalanced force that stopped it? Here at the bottom of the hill. Okay? And then it said what? And then it says on number 3, what happened to the sledder in this picture? So what is happening to this kid now that the sled has stopped? So what is happening to the boy? Okay? Or the girl. It could be either one. So what is happening to the sledder in the picture? And then number 4, describe an experience you have had relating to Newton's law of inertia. So one example you could put is that you had a toy car and it was sitting on the floor, and once you pushed it, it started moving. Or maybe you went sledding down a hill and hit a rock. What happened when that happened? Or maybe you were riding your bike and you hit a rock. What happened when you hit that rock when you were riding a bike? So just think of in your own life, what are some experiences that you had that might relate to this law, Newton's first law of motion, the law of inertia. So that is your science today. It's just that little worksheet. I'll come back to me. And then as always, After science, we have our specialty activities. So I'm going to scroll down to those. So today for PE, it says spend 20 minutes doing some or all of these exercises. So it's going to give you a list of exercises to do, and it says do some or all of them. So it says donkey kicks, shoulder touches, jumping jacks, knees, twisting lunges, side bends, windmills, mountain climbers, arm circles, sill jacks, crunches, line jumps, line hops, running in place, high knees, 360s in both directions. So you're going to choose some of those exercises to do for 20 minutes, or you can do all of those exercises for 20 minutes. It's up to you. And then music, it says sing songs to people in your family. So that was kind of fun. Sing songs to people in your family. Sing a song you already know or make up a song. I make up songs to sing to my dog all the time, and he probably thinks I'm really annoying. But it's something fun to do when you're bored. Make up a song, sing it to a member in your family, or sing a song to a member, like maybe you're watching Disney movies. Sing a song as a family. Then art. Your option for art today is draw a self-portrait of what you are doing for the summer. So what you imagine that you're going to be doing this summer, draw a self-portrait, draw a picture of you doing whatever you might be doing this summer. So maybe you're going to go to the water park this summer, draw a picture of you at the water park. Or you can draw a picture of your favorite movie. Let's see, so draw a picture of your favorite movie. So maybe your favorite movie is, let's see, my favorite movie is The Goonies. So maybe I would draw a picture of all the characters from The Goonies. Or maybe your favorite movie is, I don't know, let's think of a Disney movie. Maybe your favorite Disney movie is, let's say Moana. Maybe your favorite Disney movie is Moana. Draw a picture of Moana. Or my niece Madeline, one of her favorite Disney movies is The Princess and the Frog. So maybe you could draw Princess Tiana and the frog. So The Princess and the Frog. So just draw a picture of your favorite movie. Or, I mean, maybe your favorite movie is not a Disney movie. Maybe you like action movies and you like the Marvel superhero movies. Maybe you can draw Captain America or the Hulk or Iron Man, any of those things. So just pick your favorite movie, draw a picture of it. So you just have to pick one of those for your specialty activities. So you're either doing PE, music, or art, or if you want to do all of them, you can do all of them. So that is our AMI packet, or our AMI work for AMI Day 12. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I want you to remember to stay safe, stay healthy, and always remember that Miss McGee loves you and I miss you guys. So thank you for watching today.